and welcome to Fast Facts with me, Fran Winston. If you're a trivia buff, an information junkie, or if you just like learning really interesting things, you've come to the right place. Each episode we give you a quirky, quick and quintessential look at a particular topic. We do the research so you don't have to. Today we're looking at that most elegant bird, the swan. Now you might think you know everything there is to know about them, but there's far more to them than meets the eye. So you've probably all heard of the fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen, The Ugly Duckling, about a homely bird who's brought up by a family of ducks but bullied about his appearance until at the end, spoiler alert, he turns into a beautiful swan. This was probably closer to fact than Andersen himself even realised, because swans are in fact part of the duck and geese family, which is why they all get along so swimmingly. For many people, the swan's extended family of duck or goose has probably been on your menu at some point, but we would deem it unthinkable to eat a swan. Not so the Elizabethans, where it was considered a luxury food, and in fact a recipe still exists from that era telling us how to cook swan. Nowadays in the UK, however, unless you're the Queen, a guest of the Queen, or a member of St John's Chamber of Commerce, it is illegal to eat swans, and it carries a stiff fine and a possible prison sentence. You have been warned. Most people might think all swans look alike, but that's not the case, because there are in fact 6 or 7 different species. The ones here are mute swans, and this is signified by their orange beaks and their S-shaped necks. And if you've heard of the infamous black swan through the ballet or the film of the same name, you might be interested to know it does actually exist. It's native to Australia and it was introduced to Ireland, but only a small number exist on very few sites in this country. You can't always tell when they're in the water, but swans are very big birds. Mute swans like these can grow up to 15 kilos. That's the equivalent of 7.5 2-litre bottles of fizzy pop. Their wingspan can grow to an astonishing 10 feet. Swans grow to this size on a mainly herbivore diet. Now, although they may occasionally eat some aquatic animals or insects, their diet does consist mainly of roots, tubers, leaves and stems of aquatic plants. And that's why you see them dipping their heads in the water. They're searching for food. Because, like most animals, their natural diet is so wholesome, the bread that most people insist on bringing to parks and lakes to feed them isn't very good for them. Their bodies can't actually digest it, and it does cause them problems. Now, it's never actually advisable to feed a wild bird, but if you do insist, it's far preferable to bring some shredded lettuce, maybe with a bit of silver beet wrapped in it. You can also bring corn. They really like corn, either fresh from the cob or the can. They love fresh peas. If you bring frozen, please make sure they're defrosted. You can also feed them some broccoli, some grated carrot. All this is really nutritional and very, very good for them. Just make sure to toss it in the shallows so they can actually eat it, and never bring the food onto the land. Now, they've drifted off over there at the moment, but much like there are 2 swans in this lake here, you generally find swans in pairs. This is because they mate for life. Now, occasionally there is a divorce if nesting issues occur, and if a mate dies, they will pair up with another swan. But on the whole, if you see 2 swans together, chances are they have been long-term mates. Swans reach maturity at about 4 years of age, and this is actually when they start to seek out a mate, usually within their own flock. An adult male is called a cob, the adult female is called a pen, and they do actually most adorably kiss by touching beaks, which creates a heart shape with their necks, which has become a very iconic image through the centuries. Once they found their mate, they leave their flock and they look for their own mating habitat. Occasionally, another pair of swans will already be in that habitat, and then a territorial battle can ensue, with the winners staying and the losers forced to find somewhere else to set up home. When they found their dream habitat, the nest building process begins. They generally build their nests at the side of the water using reeds and plants. This takes about 2 to 3 weeks. The pen then starts laying her eggs, and she'll lay 1 egg every 12 to 24 hours. There can be anything from 3 to 8 eggs in a cluster, and they're about 4 inches long. She'll incubate these for 6 weeks until they hatch, and those cygnets are born able to swim, so those ugly ducklings take straight to the water. I hope you learned something new from this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back very soon with more fast facts, and in the meantime, stay curious. If there's something you'd like us to feature, why not email us on fast_facts@outlook.com, or connect with us on social media. Find our Fast Facts page on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter @Fast Facts Show.